English running?
Believe in yourself.
Easy English running?
Believe in yourself.
You have to believe in yourself. Thank you.
All depend on your objective and the will that you are willing to put into your own life. So I'm mixed. So my dad is Tuareg and my mom is mix of Arab and Fulani. I was born in Timbuktu, especially in Asakan. So my passion was always to education, and I will tell you why that actually came from. Everything that I do in life has to do with like a personal living experience that I have been going through. So I was lucky to have access to education, and for that to be able to happen, my dad joined the army, because my dad was in the army. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2016. So he was a military guy. So he joined the army. We lived in Kati. But for me, it was very sad to know that I was lucky enough to have access to education, but there's so many young girls in my region, especially in the community of Western, who didn't have access to education. So for me, it was very sad. But every summer, we used to go back, and then me and my sister would share what we have learned, like my cousins who lived there. So for me, I was going to school, but my motivation is like, I want to bring back education. Even though I didn't have the best education too, in terms of like school that I attended, I went to the public school in military camp in Kati. That's where I did my secondary and primary school. The school was always on strike. The teachers would not be teaching because the government didn't pay the money. So for me, I know that I was always the best student, but I know that I needed to invest on myself, my own education, because the education system is so weak, because we almost spend a year without going to school. To my teacher became my best friends. So there was always that girl who was behind the teacher trying to learn, trying to understand things. And then I was at a very young age, but I was very interested by current issues. Like I would be debating about political issues, security issues, but with older people. So one day, there was this guy who came to drop my aunt at my dad's place. So I just came and sit with them, and we were talking about politics, security issues. And he was, the person who was driving my aunt happened to know a school called the African Leadership Academy. And the school is based in South Africa. So when we were talking, the guy was like, oh wow, you are very smart. There's this amazing school called the African Leadership Academy. It's based in South Africa. So they usually bring the best students coming from all over Africa for 2 years, where you kind of like, it's like a continuity of high school. So you go, you do your high school there, and then you have an international baccalaureate degree. And they will help you access to the best universities in the world. But it's very competitive, he told me that. And he's like, I think you are gonna be, African Leadership Academy. So he told me, I think you are gonna be a best fit for this school. You should apply. I'm like, okay. Then he gave me all the information about this. Please check your email and reply to me. He stopped a second, everybody stopped, there was a silence. They all looked at me, oh wow, okay. And he's like, no problem, Fatima, I will reply. So I didn't realize what I did until I went back to my room. I was like, I told my friends from Ivory Coast, I was like, ils vont me renvoyer de l'école, c'est fini. They're gonna like fire me. What I did today, this is the end of it. And guess what? He called, the founder of the school went to his office, and then he called somebody to tell me to come. And he's like, congratulations. I was like, why? He's like, because of you, the wife of the US ambassador in South Africa decided to give scholarship to 10 students to come to LA. Because of you, now they are going to be selected. She's gonna sponsor you to become a special Yali Fellow. So you will be the youngest Yali Fellow in the history, and then you will be joining them to go to the US, and you're going to be presenting the school. I was like, oh really? And he's like, why? Because what you show is the kind of leadership we want to see. A leader is somebody who stands up for what he believes. A leader is somebody who is courageous. A leader is somebody who is perseverant. Because what I show was a sign of perseverance, you know. I believe that Francophone on campus need to be supported, and I try everything possible, and I didn't care the fact that these ambassadors and ministers were here. I still like stand up for this Francophone in front of all of them, and this is the kind of leader I want to show to the people financing the school. So that was like a great experience. So to just tell you that if you have something that you care about, don't look at the challenges. Challenges should be like an opportunity actually to even like do better, to even attain the next step in your leadership journey. So imagine that one thing opened me so many doors. Not just me to the Francophone, because I was able to, after I finished my 2 years, I was supposed to go to university, but I decided to even stay there, and I worked. Before even going to university, I was working on campus for a year where I designed a curriculum for the Francophone orientation on campus to help the Francophone to better adapt to the culture, to learn English. So we have like a special orientation for the Francophones on campus. And that also helped me to have a full scholarship, MasterCard open a scholarship to the 20 best African students. You can write MasterCard Foundation as well, so they can check that out.
I'm very glad to know her today, but this is my first time to see you. My question is here, what were the challenges that you overcome and
the challenges that I overcome?
Yeah.
In Mali, being not that strong, so I have to work really hard myself. I have to work extra hours to build that myself. That was one challenge. The second challenge is when I went to the US, adapting to a new culture, to a new people, trying to learn very intensively a new language, for instance. That was also one challenge. And the third challenge is coming back to Mali, trying to be accepted, you know, trying to not be seen as a foreigner. Because when you study abroad and you come back, it takes time for people to understand that you are still like grounded, you are still part of the community. And also being a young woman, you know, sometimes being a young woman working for like older men, sometimes you will come, you will present a project. They don't care about what you say, it's the beauty. Instead of commenting about your presentation and oh, you are so beautiful, can I have your number? So it's like a constant challenge and struggle.
I had two questions for you.
Okay.
The first was about your ambition, political ambition. But if I know in your presentation you say you are not political. Okay. The second question is what are your piece or advice for the youth, for us? Your piece or advice?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yeah, for the political one, at least for now, maybe, you know, things change. I never knew that I would be working for the government in my life one day. I studied human rights, public policy. I always thought that I would be just working for international organization, never like affiliate myself with the government, because unfortunately politics in Africa, the image is not very positively sold to people. They think that politicians are liars, politicians are manipulators. So us as young people, sometimes we are afraid to associate our image to that. So it takes me time to understand that no, there are politicians who are honest. There are some of them who are not manipulators. So at least now I don't have a political ambition. Maybe in the future it will happen, you know. Never say never. So maybe one day I will be running even for an office. Who knows? It's possible. Things change. Or presidency, right? Who knows? It will, I know you guys, you look at the guys when you say that, you know, the mindset needs to change even here. Because a lot of men are not even ready for female leadership, right? Are you guys ready? No, that's another debate. So, to come back, my advice that I would give to you is be ambitious.
Advice is
Yeah.
pieces of advice. Please
Yeah.
take notes.
Take notes, yeah. First, take time to train yourself. Take time, invest on your trainings. Like for instance, this is good that schools are closed. You guys decided to come here and learn English in your free time because you know that it's important. It will open you so many doors. Learning English will open you so many doors. Right now, with a lot of organization, if you don't speak English and French, your chances of getting hired is very low. So English will open you so many doors. Apart from like few francophone countries, once you get in the plane, you will only hear English. You won't hear French anymore, unfortunately. English is occupying the space. So it's very important that for you to be able to be open to the world, because now the world are connected. Either we want it or not, we are living in a globalization world. Everything is linked, everything is impacted. So we need to be open to that. So for that, it's important to invest on yourself. Invest on your education. Be good at what you are doing. Even if you are somebody who have a business of just making soap, be very good at it. Trying to create a difference. Just don't do something because you want to do it. Do it with passion. When you do something with passion, you don't feel like you are even working, You don't feel the pressure because it's good. You are doing what you love. So put passion on everything you do. Know that what can bring you to your next level is you. Of course, somebody can help you, can guide you, can advise you, but if you put enough training, enough time on yourself to be better, you will be ready to be competing with others. My father wasn't a diplomat, my father wasn't a minister. He was just a military who didn't have a higher salary. But that didn't stop me from having access to the best schools in the world. Everybody knows that Oxford is the best university. Trinity College, travel, because I take time to really invest on myself, on my education, and I didn't give up. So that's my second advice. Have objectives. Write down your objectives. What do you want to be in the next 5 years? What do you want to be in the next 10 years? That will help you to not just become an animal working like that, without having any sense of orientation. Look at somebody that you wish you could be this person and try to follow their journey. How do they do it? How do they get there? And motivate yourself to get there. Don't be victim of your environment.